Hey guys, what is up? Brendan here, aka Brenbo, bringing you guys a video faster than usual. It's been like a couple days since I uploaded my last video. Got another one out. Reason is my shop that I work at is getting moved and we have to wait on permits to put the lifts up, so therefore the shop will be closed for about 2 weeks and I have nothing to do. So why not make videos, because I love doing it and I have so much to make, but I never have time. So today we're gonna be addressing something the car has had a problem with for a long time, and I'm really scared to find out the results of it. And today we're gonna find the result. So what's been happening lately is the car has been overheating and shooting coolant everywhere. So in past videos, I replaced the thermostat and it seemed to fix the overheating issue, but the car still puts coolant everywhere in the engine bay. So here is the coolant reservoir, and usually after a 5-minute drive even, I'll pop the hood and there will be coolant everywhere around the cap, on the battery, on the power steering reservoir, and a little bit on the valve cover. And obviously it's clean now because I keep everything nice, but I have a suspicion maybe the cap is bad, so I went ahead and ordered a cap about a week ago. It's still not here. Thermostat is an option, and the water pump, in my opinion, are the only options for this cause. So I replaced the thermostat, cap is on the way, but a head gasket is a very big cause of this. And a head gasket, if you guys don't know, is a huge job. Basically, these are the valve covers and the heads are right here on both sides. The head gasket is basically, you have to take off these heads, which go pretty deep in the motor, you won't be able to see, and that's the gasket that connects basically the lower block to the head. And it's a very, very big job. On most engines, it's a very big job, like about 20 hours labor and very expensive. Basically the worst nightmare for your car besides throwing a rod or anything like that. So it's just a gasket that causes pressure buildup and causes coolant loss over time. Basically just a whole bunch of problems, but that's my biggest fear about this car, is the head gasket going. And today I'm going to buy a pressure tester, or a tester basically, to put it in the reservoir, and a fluid that is usually blue. I'm not sure which one, I'm not sure what color the one I'm about to buy is, but usually it's blue. And if the head gasket's bad, it'll start to turn green, and that's how you know if the head gasket is bad. Usually it's very accurate. At my shop, we use this all the time, and it turns out to be correct. So I'm gonna try that today, and if it turns green, I'll be pretty disappointed, obviously, because I'm gonna have to get this fixed. What surprises me is this car has 20,000 miles. I know it's old, things can rot over time, and that's maybe an issue, but I didn't really think at 20,000 miles that this would happen. It's very uncommon on cars. Usually it's about when a car hits 120 or 100,000, that's when the head gasket goes, not usually at 20,000 miles. So I don't know if the owner like previously beat on this car really badly, causing the head gasket to maybe warp, engine to overheat. I have no idea. That's a bad thing about buying a used car. But if this does go bad, I have all winter to fix it, and then therefore I can continue the V2 of the Cobra. But this is obviously a huge repair, worst case scenario basically, like I said, without throwing a rod or anything like that. So I'm gonna head over to the store, I'm gonna get a tester, and we're gonna test this. I'm very scared for what's about to happen. This is my daily, it's a Saturn Aura. It got hit about 4 months ago, and I've been just driving it like it because it doesn't matter. But also recently, the door handle cable has snapped. Therefore, I can't get through my door. Therefore, I can't get in my car through the driver's side door because there's no tension, it just doesn't open. So every time I want to get into this car, I have to literally go through the passenger door and crawl over into the driver's side. This is what I drive every day to work, has about 160,000 miles on it, and it does the job. I'm perfectly fine, I don't mind these problems as long as it's cheap and it gets me where I want to be. So it's kind of funny, people see this, they're like, wow, this kid doesn't have that great of a car, but do they know I have a Terminator? So I'm gonna go get the tester, return this pump I got from Meijer, because I thought there was gonna be too much coolant in the cooling system, so I was gonna actually pump some out. Didn't need to do that, so I'm gonna return that, and I'll show you guys when I get back. So just arrived at the place I'm getting the tester from. It's called Richard's Auto Parts. It's basically this place in town that is like an AutoZone, but they sell everything for any car, and they build cars here, and they're basically a performance shop, kind of like a shop you see in Fast and Furious, in like the first movie where they buy all the parts from. It's kind of like an old-fashioned shop like that, and it's really cool because it's about 5 minutes from our house, and they have like everything. So I know for sure they have this head gasket tester, so I'm gonna get that, and I'll go back to the house. So I am now going to perform the test. I am back in the garage. So basically what the kit came with is this bottom tube, and this is the part you're gonna fill. There's a little fill line that you fill the liquid with, and this is the liquid you're using. It's a blue liquid, and it basically tells you it's blue if there's no leak present, and it'll turn yellow if there's a leak present. And basically that's like exhaust gases that's leaking into the coolant, and that therefore will cause it to turn yellow. So if I basically put this liquid in front of my exhaust pipe, it will turn yellow. So that's basically what it's checking for. It's not actually sucking up actual coolant for this. So therefore you have to leave about 3 inches of coolant in the reservoir. So I had to suck some out. I put it in a bucket because you don't want coolant getting into this tube, or you don't want the liquid that's in this going into your coolant. So make sure that you have like 3 inches of coolant drained from the reservoir, and then you can put it back in after. So the one I bought, you need to connect to vacuum, which I didn't really want, but that's all they had. The other ones you connect a pump to, just kind of pump it, but it's relying on vacuum to cause bubbles to form in the liquid. So this is the top part of it. It's just a rubber to seal it, and then you got this line you're connecting to a vacuum. So I think I'm going to connect it to this black circle thing up here. You see the vacuum line on top. I'm not sure what that is, sadly, but I'm just gonna connect it to that, and then shove that tube in the little hole for the reservoir. Let the car idle for about 2 minutes, and that's when you see your results. But before all of that, you wanna let the car idle for about 10 minutes to make everything nice and warm, operating temperature, and then keep your cap off the whole time so it doesn't build pressure. And then after it's at operating temperature, that's when you're gonna put the tube in, and then let it idle for 2 minutes after the tube is in. And if it doesn't change colors after 2 minutes, then you're good, because if it's really bad, it's gonna change almost instantly, and if it's a little leak, it's gonna take about that 2 minutes. So I'm praying that this is okay. And if it's okay, hopefully then the cap fixes the issue. That's the only thing I can think of, except water pump. Maybe the water pump's clogged or not cooling enough, or I don't even know. It's gonna be a whole nother diagnosis after this. So let's hope for the best. So as you guys can see, that is a pure blue, which is a very good sign. So as you guys can see, the liquid turned no color, it stayed blue, which I'm happy about, but at the same time I'm not, because now I gotta find out what's causing this if it's not the head gasket. And it's gonna take some further diagnosis. It could be the water pump, because the fan like seems to always be running when the car is on. Like the fan never shuts off. And I already placed the thermostat, so I feel like that's the only other option. I'm not really sure. So I might be doing that. It's a little time consuming. You gotta take out the whole supercharger bridge that connects all the pulleys for the supercharger. And then the water pump's like right there, connected to the other belt system on this car. So it's like a 3-hour job, I would say. Not that expensive for a water pump, but it's just time consuming, like I said. But if you guys looked, I didn't end up using the vacuum lines. It wasn't really that effective. Maybe I wasn't on the best vacuum line, but I ended up using this like random kitchen tool. I think it's for like turkeys or something. And I just used this as an air pump basically to pump bubbles into the system. I did that for about 2 minutes and it still didn't change color. So from that tool, I guess the head gasket's fine. And usually those are really accurate. So I'm just gonna think that the head gasket's fine, which is cool. I saved like $1,000 if I would have took it in, or I probably wouldn't have done it myself because you have to do timing and everything. But saved about $2,000 or so. So I have basically like all winter to diagnose this car. I might drive it a couple more times, do a couple more meets. But besides that, I kind of have all winter to fix this thing and get it set for next spring. Once I get this problem resolved, I can then move on with further mods because I don't want to have other problems and then add more things to the car. That's just not good. So, I hope you guys learned something. I don't know if you guys knew about this tester that you could put on your car to test for a head gasket or not. I think it's a pretty cool thing. I learned about it at work a couple months ago, and I decided to get one. It was like $35 for that tester, which isn't bad. So, this is a really short video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just want to tell you guys everything I do to this car, obviously, all the problems I had, like I said, and that got one situation out of the way, which is replacing the head gasket. So on the continue to diagnose the car, you guys will see videos in the future of it. Press the subscribe button below if you enjoyed this video and hit the like button if you're happy the head gasket is fine on this car. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.